Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video we will see how to create Azure functions. So in the last video we have seen how to create Azure virtual machines. If you are new to this channel, pay to subscribe and let's see the demo of Azure functions. In Azure Portal, so this is the URL portal@azure.com. So we will see how to create function app. So let's click on the function app and we will create a new from the scratch. So here it is asking for the subscription, so I'm having a free trial subscription. So if you have any other, it will show in the drop down. And in the resource group, I'm giving existing resource group demo RG. If you want, you can create new by clicking on create new. You can create it. For now I'm using my existing resource group and I'm naming my function app name. So I'm giving my function app name as demo function app one tutorial. So sometimes if it is not available, it will give some errors to you. Don't worry about that. You can give any name. If it is available, it will give. And I'm publishing the code. And coming to the runtime stack, I'm selecting .NET as my runtime stack. You can select based on your runtime stack. And version is 6 and solution is Central US and operating system is Windows. I'm selecting Windows. And my plan type is consumer serverless. So based on your subscription, it will give the plan type. So for my free trial subscription, it is giving only consumption serverless, and the networking tab, no need to change anything, just keep as it is and move to the monitoring tab. And in the monitoring tab, if you see, it is showing to enable application insights. It is enabled by default and everything is good. And coming to the tags, so no need to do anything, it's not a mandatory. And doing the validation, and the validation passed and everything is good. Now we can go for creation of the resource. So deployment started. So once the deployment is done, we can see the function app. So until then I'm pausing my video. Once it is deployed, I will start again. Deployment is completed, so we can go to the resource now. I'm just closing that pop-up and I'm going to the resource now. So it is giving the name as demo function app tutorial. So and the resource group is what we have picked, that is demo RG, and the status is running, location is Central US, everything is fine, and URL. So like app service, it is also giving an URL. So we will see what is there in that URL. So currently there's nothing in this URL. This is up and this app is up and running, but nothing is there. So we will see how to configure it. So for that we need to go to functions tab, and in the functions tab, if you see right now I'm having nothing. See that create button is not enabled yet, so it will enable. Sure, yeah, now it is enabled. So now we can create function. So okay, so it is asking a development environment. So it is giving Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, Editor plus Core Tools. So now I'm taking for time being in Portal I'm developing. So I'm selecting the template as HttpTrigger is better. So HttpTrigger I'm taking for time being, and we'll see the template details as well. So what template it's giving? So it is giving a new function name HttpTrigger, and instead I'm change it to my HttpTrigger. And coming to the authorization level, keep it at a function level, no need to give it any other. So everything is good, you can create it. But okay, yeah, you can create. Now the function is creating with the name my HttpTrigger, and if you see, it is within the function app. Our function is within the function app that we were created early. So application insights, everything is good. So now we will just see how to run it. So here there is an option called get function URL. Just copy the URL and click OK, and then we'll open it in the next tab. So just hit enter, we will see. So this HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Pass a name in the query string. Okay, so this is request executed properly, but we need to pass a name to see this function output. So just a moment, we will do it. So in the URL, just we will give the name, we'll pass the name. So ampersand name equal to, I'm giving my name. So you can give yours and you can test it. So yes, hello Pawan, and this HTTP trigger function executed successfully. So we'll see just how this is working in reality. So here there is an option called code plus test. So as of now I'm selected .NET runtime stack. So it is, I think I'm expecting the code is in CSV extension, and C# code. If don't worry if you are not a C# guy, this is very basic code. I will just explain line by line. So it is taking node and soft.json and using system.net, and these are the namespaces, and there is a method called run method. So it is an asynchronous programming and taking the task type, and if you see there is a method run method. This run method is taking two arguments, that is HTTP request type and ilogger. So an ilogger is an interface. This will just for logging the information. So with that log we are just logging the information, and log.log and log information of C# HttpTrigger function process request, and in the name we are and through the HTTP request from the query we are collecting that name and we are storing it in the name, and in the request body we are just reading the whatever there in the body we are requesting. We can see await new because there is an asynchronous programming. We need to make use of these keywords, and in the data we are deserializing the request body and place it in, and we are keeping it in, storing it in the data, and again it is checking with through the ternary operator whether it is a name or data.name, and if everything is good, and in the response message it is checking if the name is empty or not, null or empty. If it is null, based on the ternary condition, as we have seen that firstly it is given function executed, but you need to pass the name. If it is correct, it will give the name. So finally it is returning okay object result of type response message. So this is how a simple function app will work. So that's it for today, guys. So this is how we can create Azure function. So please do subscribe. We will see more videos on Azure in the upcoming series.